When I come off of the plane, I not lie. I actually go up on the ground and kiss the ground.
Did you literally? Were you that happy to
In
be
my
here?
mind, I think I did it. Maybe, but I was happy, man. I was happy to be.
What was your first impression?
Of Africa, all right. I've always been interested in Africa. And so coming here, it felt like home.
Really?
Yeah, it felt like home. I don't know. It's just, that's the feeling I got. And I've been to many other places, but here gave me that feeling. Been to other African countries and I still get that same feeling. I'll give you an example. I remember when I just came here, I went on a date with this colored, right? And she went on a rant about black people,
Okay.
right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, this girl know I'm black? Right? And so I asked her, I'm saying, you know I'm black, right? And she said, yeah, but you're different.
Oh,
And I'm saying, how? And she said, you're a foreigner.
okay.
I'm saying, okay, so because I'm a black foreigner, I'm different. So all right, cool. Anyway.
What is an experience that happened to you since you've been here that you would never seen coming?
Getting arrested. Getting arrested. I'm going to jail.
Did you have to actually go to jail?
Yeah.
What happened?
And she said, this is fake. And she said, you're going to get arrested. And I said, come on, man. And went to the prison, the jail. And they opened the cell. I said, go. And like 17 people on the floor laying down. I said, yo, I'm serious. So I'm serious, you know what I mean? And so when I went in, I remember the next morning, I went outside, I found a little corner and I cried. I was there for a week.
You were in jail
Yeah.
for a week?
I was there for a week until I got bail. So yeah, and I not in my wildest dream, I would say I would ever had been to jail or envision.
Since COVID, it seems like everyone is thinking about the life that they actually want to live, and many are considering moving abroad. I am April Jackson, and I'm currently traveling the world speaking to people who have done just that. They've left everything behind for a life elsewhere. Marlon Cotterell is a Jamaican-born creative whose life took an unexpected turn after a trip to South Africa to walk in Africa Fashion Week. He now lives here in Cape Town and is the frontman to South Africa's biggest reggae band, the Rudimentals. He's an international model whose face has been on billboards around the world. He's a mentor, a father, an aspiring entrepreneur. And although I'm always excited to speak to my people, I have to ask, babes, how did you get here?
Swim, you know.
People believe you know.
Yeah, but no. One morning I just get up, drive go Portland and then just I go for a swim and just
You reach.
end up in Africa. No, as I say, I came for Africa Fashion Week. Yeah.
And that was in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this was 2011. 2011. Yeah.
Was that your first trip to the continent?
Yeah, man, when I come off of the plane, I not lie. I actually go up on the ground and kiss the ground.
Did you literally? Were you that happy to be here?
In my mind, I think I did it. Maybe, but I was happy, man. I was happy to be.
What was your first impression?
Of Africa, all right. I've always been interested in Africa. So when I was in Jamaica, living in Jamaica, I could normally study the map of Africa. So I could go on the map, just point to a country and tell you where exactly it is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Without the name being there.
My
So,
geography is terrible, so I could never.
yeah, so I used to do that. And so coming here, it felt like home.
Really?
Yeah, it felt like home. I don't know. It's just, that's the feeling I got. And I've been to many other places, but here gave me that feeling.
Specifically South Africa.
I mean, it was the first place in Africa I came.
Sure.
You understand? So, yeah. But I've been to other African countries and I still get that same feeling. For some reason, I don't know. It's home, man.
So when you came to Johannesburg, you were here just for presumably a short time for the show?
I was here for the show, yeah, which was, I think it lasted for a week.
Okay.
And I said, I'm hung around a bit, spent 3 months in Johannesburg, and then my agent in Johannesburg said, you know, you can go down to Cape Town and try it out. So I said, all right, cool. Came down to Cape Town. The plan was to spend 6 months in total
Okay.
in South Africa. And it's been 15 years.
Okay. I need you to take me back to how did you even get into modeling?
All right. So in Jamaica, I used to work as a travel agent, right? So Saint International, the modeling agency there, we used to do their bookings.
Okay.
So I used to book the tickets for them, and every time, you know, they will come in to collect tickets for models and say, hey, man, you should model this and that. And I'm like, nah, man. Because at the time, I was heavily into music,
Okay.
right? I have a studio in Jamaica, music studio, with my business partner, Junior Frost, which is Jimmy Cliff, well, was Jimmy Cliff audio engineer. So I used to
Okay.
tour with him. And JOP, Idonia, all of us, that's us.
Okay.
Yeah, size 10, he passed recently, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, size 10. And so that was the crew, you know, because even at one point, they approached me and Idonia, Sheldon, to do modeling.
Okay.
And at the time, I said, nah. And then fast forward a few years later, I was coming from Miami with my girlfriend at the time. And ran into Dwight at the airport, and he said, "What happened? Come, man, come model for us." And my girlfriend said, "You should do it, man." And since then, she started, you know, you should do it. So just to shut her up, I did it. And yeah.
Why did
And
you
yeah,
not
no.
want to do it? Okay, babes, real talk, tantrums do not look fun. But what if I told you that they don't have to take over your house? In my course, Managing Tantrums Like a CEO, I'll teach you the strategies that turn tantrums into opportunities. No yelling, no bribes, no screens, and no chaos. You will learn how to understand what's really going on behind those meltdowns, how to keep your cool when they lose theirs, and how to raise emotionally intelligent children without losing yourself in the process. Because CEOs don't react, babes, they respond, and you can do the same. So if you're ready to bring more calm, connection, and confidence to your home, click the link and check out Manage Tantrums Like a CEO.
Why?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it wasn't a passion.
Okay.
It's not something that I thought of or wanted to do, you know, because for me it was all music, you know. So it was music, you know, producing, recording, all of that. And I did it and it was fun.
What is the life of a male model? I feel like we speak a lot publicly about the female side of the modeling industry.
Yeah.
What is it about the male side of modeling that we might not know?
For one, a lot of females look at themselves as models, right?
Okay.
I'm a model, this and that. For me personally, I do modeling.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, it's not your identity.
Yeah, I'm not a model. I do modeling, and most of my friends who do modeling have the same mindset.
Okay.
We just see it as a career job.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Make some money and then continue to live life.
I like that.
That's how we see it.
And what was your first international job?
First international job. I have to go back in the archives. First international job. To be honest, I can't remember.
Really?
I can't remember.
Clearly wasn't that impactful.
Eh? No, the thing is, you know what? I remember one day I was at the agency. And my book at the time, I was right there standing, and they got confirmation for a job, a TV commercial for me. And, you know, of course, them being excited, hey, Marlon, we just got word you booked this.
Sure.
And I was like, okay. And they looked at me like, they said, what, that's it? And I'm saying, am I supposed to do cartwheels?
Is that your personality in general, or is it because modeling wasn't your passion?
I guess that's my personality in general.
Or you're very, like, level?
Yeah, I try to be.
Okay.
Unless when I'm watching football.
Who do you
Then I'm a
support?
different animal. Eh?
Who do you support?
Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah.
I spoke to this woman this morning who is from Sierra Leone, lives here, raised in America, and she supports Liverpool. She goes to matches
Really?
and yes.
That's a smart woman.
Okay, so in general, you're quite cool, calm, collected.
Yeah, yeah. pretty much.
The first time you saw your face on a billboard, where are we? What is the campaign? And how do we feel?
I've never seen my face on a billboard.
Really?
I've never. People always send pictures.
Oh, but you've not seen it in person.
No, people always from. I remember this friend of mine. She a big billboard in, I think it was Kenya, Mombasa. She sent me a picture in New York, Soho. You know, people send me pictures, and I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Mauritius, I saw one in Mauritius.
person?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. When I was driving to the airport,
And you
there
don't
was a
care?
big billboard on the side. And I said, huh?
And you didn't care.
No, because I asked the driver after he drop us off at the airport. I said, when you go back, can you take a picture of that? And he said, all right, cool, right? And he sent it to me. I sent it straight to my agent
Okay.
and said, this is not supposed to be there.
Oh,
So they had to pay us.
really?
Yeah. So
So
that,
imagine
that's
if you weren't there, you would never have seen it.
exactly. So yeah, sent it to them. Agency reach out to the clients, and they had to pay us because the time expired.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, when I get like pictures of me being on billboards, that's the first thing I do.
Make sure the money right.
Yeah. I'm saying, well, that is not supposed to. That yeah, you know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So music has always been the focus.
Yeah.
And when you move to Cape Town, why did you choose Cape Town and not Joburg?
All right, being Jamaican, seeing the ocean. All right, the 3 months I spent in Joburg. You've been to Joburg?
No.
So Joburg is sort of like New York. It's the city
Okay.
life. It's very social. You know what I mean? It's either house parties, bars, restaurant, pubs, but nothing outdoor like that.
Okay.
You know, so when I came to Cape Town and saw the ocean, I'm like, this is it.
This is where it makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay.
Because yeah.
And you're still modeling when you decide to stay here?
Yeah. This was like literally the first week I came.
And you just said that, yeah, man, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So explain to me what the dynamic is in Jamaica. Like, what are you leaving? Is your family in Jamaica?
Yeah, my mom, and my sister.
Okay.
Yeah, and aunts and, cousins
Extended
and all that.
family.
Yeah.
But you didn't feel any ties to Jamaica? You didn't?
Listen, we always Jamaican, right?
Right.
First and foremost. But at the end of the day, I wanted something different, man.
Did you know that you wanted something different before you came here for Africa Fashion Week?
Not necessarily.
Okay. It
Not
seems
necessarily.
like a really short
but,
space
but
of time.
yeah, but coming here and then seeing it and see how everything, how it's set up, I just said, I'm going to chill yourself a bit, I'm going to chill and see what happens. Yeah.
You called your mom and you told her that you're not coming back. What does she say?
She said, do your thing.
Really?
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, if she wasn't okay, I probably would not be here.
Okay.
Yeah, but she gave me her blessing and said, yeah, we'll do it.
How old are you at this point?
44.
Okay. So it's like 15 years ago. So you're old enough to be like, make decisions.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if my child just said I'm not coming back, I would want to be like your mother. Whether I would be like her, the jury is still out.
Yeah.
And how did your sister feel?
She was working in France at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So she was also out
Gone
of the
anyway.
country. Yeah.
Wow.
She was teaching English in France.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you move, you're like, the spirit told you that this is where you're supposed to be and you get comfortable. Was there ever a time where you were like, oh, I want to go back on a plane and I want to go home?
Christmas.
Okay.
Christmas time. All right. Because you know how we grew up in Jamaica. You know, you have Christmas tree, you have Christmas decoration, you have Christmas.
Sorrel.
The whole works. And
Yeah.
in America as well, because we grew up on that culture where, you know what I
Okay.
mean, it's Christmas. Here, there's no remnants of Christmas like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because you have a lot of different religions, a lot of different things that people celebrate different.
Right.
So the decoration that we use and all of that, that's not here. So if you don't know it's December, you probably
just-
not even know it's Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, yeah, just being with friends and family at the time, you know, during that festive season.
Yep.
Yeah, you never had that here. And it was tough. It was tough that time. I mean, it's still hard, but I've adapted and I've gotten used to it. But yeah.
Did you find moving abroad isolating?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. Because the thing is, when you come here, and you have, you know, the community, the modeling community, and you have your friends and all of that. That's your people. That's the group you run with.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like friends where you grew up with,
Yeah.
friends who get you, family who get you, that's not here.
Right.
You know, I always say, if I could move my friends here,
Okay.
it would be perfect.
Is
And
that the only thing
I
you
love the
miss?
Jamaican food.
Is that so? Just friends and food is all that's missing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Talk to me about like the vibe. If you were to describe what living in Cape Town feels like to someone who's never been here, because even myself, this is the second time that
Yeah.
I've been here, and I can't really imagine what like day to day living looks and feels like.
Day to day, I mean, you know, you get into a routine. I have a routine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get up, you go to the gym, supermarket, do whatever you need to do, castings or studio recordings,
Right.
all of that. You know, so for me, there's a routine. For everybody, it's different. You know, coming here, but I mean, just it depends on what you want. If you're into nature, you can go on hikes. If you're into surfing, what do you call it now? What's the thing they call? Kite surfing.
Okay.
It's there.
Yeah.
Like right by where we stay.
I saw some.
Yeah, exactly.
yesterday.
That's the one of the best areas for kite
Okay.
surfing in the world. So you have a lot of Europeans who come here in the
Okay.
summer to do, because it's Blowberg, it's windy. it's so windy that side. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, if you're into we call it now running, you know, food, there are a lot of different kind of foods here.
Except ours.
Yeah, you have a place called Jamaica Me Crazy. Have you heard of it?
No.
And you have another place called Banana Jam.
Oh no. Is it good? Oh. I mean, the name's not great.
I plead the fifth. You know, Banana Jam is better though. In terms of, if you have to compare,
Okay.
Banana Jam is better.
It's better.
Yeah.
Okay. It's funny because when I first came here, I came straight from England.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that the people are really warm and like really friendly. And this time I've come from like spending a lot of time in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring it up is because I feel like my experience of Cape Town is very different having come from a different destination.
Yeah.
So when you come from England and, you know, the sunshine alone will make you feel better, right? Because you've been
Yeah,
in the
because you
grey.
have what, 2 days of summer in
Ridiculous,
England,
right? Exactly. And like the people there are not warm. They're not
Yeah.
that sense of community. And so the point is, I think I was really excited to be here because it felt really the opposite to everything I'd been experiencing. However, coming back here, having spent a lot of time in Southeast Asia, going back home, I realized that it's not as nice. Like, as in the people aren't as warm
Yeah.
as I thought they were.
You know what? Cape Town is very European. You see the dynamics. You see
Yeah.
what happened. It's hard for some people to adjust when they come. Because people always say, yeah, Cape Town is not really Africa. It's in Africa. It's in South Africa. But it's not really Africa.
Especially when you go out of the city. So we were staying in Stellenbosch, and it felt like white people were looking at me like, why am I here but not working?
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
black
Yep.
people were looking at me, no, but why are you here and you're not working with us?
Yeah.
And there was
Yeah.
this really strange, like, tension maybe isn't the right word, but there was definitely something in the atmosphere
Yeah.
where people were confused. I don't feel that as much in the
Yeah.
city, but definitely like out in Vineyard Town,
Yeah, I know.
there was a vibe.
You know what's crazy? One of my boys, he came here, and we were at the waterfront, the V&A waterfront. Like, walking around doing our thing, and then he stopped and asked me, "Yo, brother, where the black people them?" And I started laughing. I'm saying, "Bro, this is Cape Town. This is Cape Town." You know, but you know what's funny is that with what you just said, when they talk to you and hear you're foreign,
Okay.
then it changes.
Right.
They look at you differently. They say, oh, okay, all right, cool. You're different.
So do you think that being foreign gives you a privilege in Cape Town?
Yes. All right, I'll give you an example. I remember when I just came here, I went on a date with this colored girl, right? And she went on a rant about black people,
Okay.
right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, this girl know I'm black? Right? And so I asked her, I'm saying, you know I'm black, right? And she said, yeah, but you're different.
Oh.
And I'm saying, how? And she said, you're a foreigner.
Okay.
I'm saying, okay, so because I'm a black foreigner, I'm different. You know, so all right, cool. Anyway, a few months later, she was pregnant by a black South African. Make sense, I know.
So when she was ranting to you,
Yeah.
what is her perspective?
That, you know, the normal, they're lazy, they're this, they're that, you know,
Really?
the normal talking points, yeah.
That we
You
would
know.
hear elsewhere. I guess I'm
Yeah,
saying really because
yeah,
I just
yeah,
don't
yeah.
expect
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hear it here.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's funny because I was talking to someone about this dynamic of coloured and black, right? Because if you're not from South Africa, then you don't necessarily understand.
It, yeah,
And
yeah.
the person I was speaking to, he was saying that he's very proud of his coloured like heritage
Yeah.
because it shows how diverse like their genome is and how there's so many different influences to being coloured.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that there was tension within like between coloured and black South Africans.
But that was designed
right.
to divide.
Of course.
Right? That was
Yeah.
designed because, I mean, colored is a culture. It's a culture.
So it's more than just being fair-skinned.
Yeah, you have people who look like me who are colored.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people
See,
come
the
to me.
ignorant person.
People think I'm colored. People come up to me speaking Afrikaans, and I'm saying, "No, brother, English." And then they realize, I say, "Oh, sorry."
Okay.
You know, so and then you have people who look close to white, who I would say and say, oh, "That's a white person,"
Right.
And they say they're colored.
Okay, so it's more than just the hue.
Yeah, it's more of a culture
Okay.
than anything else. It's like, you know, being Latino, being Hispanic, where you have
Right.
black Latinos and
Yeah.
So something like that,
That makes sense.
you know.
I asked a South African, but I'm interested to know your opinion, not being South African. I asked her that with all the diversity and the differences that are going on, does she feel that there is a sense of oneness within like South African culture? And she said that she did because, for example, she said that everyone does their
Yeah,
barbecue. And so regardless of whether you're colored, black or white, everybody will kind of unite that food. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. But to me, oneness requires more than we cook
that.
the same.
All right, I'll give you an example. All right, if there is a staff party, an office party, right? You know, everybody will be there, you know, mixing it up, chopping it up, and then at some point during that evening, a group
Okay.
will go over here, another group will go over here, and another group will go over here.
Right.
You understand?
Yes.
That's where it shows the divide that's
Right.
still here. When it comes to like rugby or sports, that's when the country becomes
together.
united, right? Whenever, especially when the Springbok play the rugby team,
Okay.
right? And then after that, like immediately after, then everybody goes
Gone again.
Exactly. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So as I said, it takes more than just sports.
Yes.
A sporting or a game.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And food to unite people.
As a foreigner, do you feel that you are able to really get into your own community, or do you think you're always going to have this feeling of being slight outside, even though it's been so long?
We actually have a small community of Caribbean people and American people
Okay.
here. So like we're talking about Americans who have Jamaican parents,
Right?
you know, who move here and live in here, and like Canadians or people from different other Caribbean islands.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who we come together and we do our own thing, man. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Yeah.
So you've been able to make your own little circle within the circle.
Yeah. All right. You know what's funny? I remember the first time I did a shoot here, right? So they're doing makeup, right? And the makeup artist was a colored girl. And she asked me, what brought you to South Africa? And I said, I always wanted to come to Africa. And she said, but this is not Africa.
Oh, she said that?
Yeah, and I'm saying, yeah, it is. And she said, no, this is South Africa.
Okay.
So I'm saying, but South Africa is the only country in Africa that have the name Africa in it. So how is it not Africa? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So basically just the mindset that we're different.
Different.
And I'm saying, no, you're not.
Wow.
You know,
I'm surprised that's coming from within.
Exactly. That opened my eye. So listen, I had to stop people. I'm saying, she was right here. And I said, where are you from? Stop this black guy. And he said, I'm from here. And I'm saying, so that makes you African, right? And he said, yeah. I stopped a white girl. And I said, where are you from? And she said, I'm from here. And I said, that makes you African. And she said, yes.
Okay.
So I'm saying, so?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Yeah.
So when you move and you are predominantly earning your income from modeling,
yeah.
Can you live comfortably here, modeling?
Yeah, definitely. If you notice the standard of living here, and it's comfortable.
When do you decide to pursue your real passion for music? How long after you move here?
Like a year after.
Okay.
Yeah, like a year after. But funnily, it happened, you know what I mean, by coincidence, because so I was at a Zimbabwe independence party with one of my boys, right? And one of the guys in the Rudimentals at the time, which I never knew, came and, was talking to my boy, and he introduced me and said, yo, he's Jamaican, blah, blah, this and that. So he said, all right, cool, take my number and we'll link up. And I said, all right, cool. He walked off, and I said to my boy, what these Africans know about reggae music, man? I'm saying, yo, go on, man. That's what I said, you know what I mean, in my mind. I'm saying, yo. And then my booker at the time, at my agency, he said, yo, listen, I know this reggae band here. I'm going to connect you with them. Because he knew I did music back home, you know what I mean? So, I made the connection. So, I started talking to my boy on WhatsApp, and he said, listen, I'm going to pick you up and I'll bring you to rehearsal. The same guy who was in the club is the same guy who come pick me up. And I'm like, oh, man, you... I said, all right, cool. So, went into the studio now, and, it's all white guys.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. All white guys. And I said, all right, cool. Let me hear what I'm going to do. And then they start playing, and I'm like, yo, they're good. Yeah, because, listen, all of them know music. They read music. They studied music. So they knew music.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay. So anyway, I'm there observing, looking around, and then they gave me the mic. So, start spit two things, and them say, what are you doing Saturday? And I'm saying, yeah, chilling. And them say, we have a show Saturday. Come. Come perform. And I said, all right, cool. Listen, I never knew any of the songs. I was on stage just looking at them to cue me. To cue me when to come in, and then just kept looking, and then I start. And the rest is history, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So before you had met them, you didn't plan that you were going to make music also a part of your scene here?
I wanted to.
But you weren't sure how to make it happen?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I said it just fell into my lap like that,
So now your life, 15 years later, how is it different from what it would have been, aside from the physical living in a different country?
Yeah.
How do you think you are different as a person?
Man, I've grown a lot, man. I've grown a lot. And the thing is, being out of your comfort zone, which, in that little box in Jamaica, yeah, that has taught me a lot. Because basically everything I had to do myself, man. I had to learn to cook.
You never know how to cook before?
Yeah, I could have cooked still. I could have cooked, but You know what I mean? Like cook consistently.
Okay.
Like, all right, when I was in Jamaica, you know, I would start cooking, and then my mom will come.
Take over.
I'm gonna go out and go play ball.
Right.
You understand? So I never see the meal or see it through. You know what I mean? But here, you know what I mean, I have to do that, and yeah, I have to do that, man. And just being responsible, man. Being an adult, you know, get up, be disciplined, you know, be on time. Be on time, yeah. I mean, and as I said, the dynamics in terms of South Africa, the history. You know what I mean? It has opened up my eyes to the world and how the world works. You know, because, you know, Jamaica, we're all Jamaicans, regardless of what we look like, right? We're Jamaicans first.
People don't understand. They just don't understand.
I try to explain that to people, and it's like they can't grasp it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At all. And it's funny because I've spoken about it in so many different ways, in the sense that people talk about how multicultural like London is, and I'm like, you guys don't know what multiculturalism is. And I say to people, 100% we are classist, 100%.
Definitely.
I would never deny that. And however, I will take classism over the other isms any day, because there is a fluidity, right? Like, you could be from a particular, you know, ghetto in Jamaica, but if you dress a particular way and speak spooky, you can move. Right?
Yeah. You know, for navigate.
You can navigate. And I just think that in other cultures, like England, for example, you know, their classism is a different kind of classism, in the sense that it is so tied to race, right? I will never be old money. Yeah. Right? You can see upon sight that my ancestors were working for the old money. So I will never be old. So no matter how spooky, no matter how much education you have, no matter, you know, how much decorum, you will always have a different place. Whereas that doesn't apply to Jamaica. So don't get, I get that we have our own issues, but again, I'd rather our issues over what I see going out in other places. And other countries, I know the Caribbean, not everyone loves us, but what I have observed, for example, Trinidad, there is not a oneness of being Trinidadian, right? It is very black and it is very Indian.
Yep.
Okay? And that is my observed experience that didn't apply. I first realized that my best friend was coolie. And for everybody, I'm sorry, when I say coolie, I do not mean the derogative version, because I did have to learn that you can't just go out on the street and say coolie. So I do apologize, right? I didn't mean it derogatively. But I go to school in England, and the Indian people in the UK are not vibing with the black people, right? And I know it might sound silly, but I was about 16 at the time. I come back home for holiday, for Christmas, and I look at my friend Steph and I say, but Steph, you're a coolie. Like, you're an Indian man. And he was like, yes. And I was just like, it just never occurred to me. I know it might sound silly, but I had grown up with this guy from I was like 8 years old, and he's just Steph. He's not Steph, the Indian guy.
Exactly.
And I just think that it's a privileged experience that I only really appreciated when I left Jamaica.
Yeah, no, that's true, because I was dating this Trini. I went to Trinidad one time, and I noticed on the currency, there's no figure of anybody, right? So I said to her, why is there no person on the money? And she said, because if you put an Indian, black people are going to be upset. If you put a black person, the Indians are going to be upset.
Wow.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
We have every kind of color upon the money.
It's crazy, yeah. And even here, like, if you notice the different accents, you know, white people have a different accent, the black people, depending on the tribe as well.
Yes.
Colored people have a different accent. And when I show them, like, videos of Chinese Jamaican or white Jamaican speaking or Indian Jamaican speaking, and I said, you guys sound the same. And I'm saying,
yeah. My friend, like, from the States, she couldn't get over it. Like, she visited me in Jamaica, and she's just staring. I'm like, my girl, stop staring at the people in. But there was literally, like, and again, from her perspective, I get it. Once there was this guy, he had, like, Goldilocks, like, blonde curly hair, and he has a Jamaican accent. And she just couldn't, her brain could not compute at all.
I get that.
But no, you know, and that's why I guess I'm interested in this idea. I've lived away from Jamaica for like the last 10 years, and I have brainwashed my children Like, no joke. Every morning they say their affirmations, and a part of that is that they're Jamaican.
You have to, yeah.
If you ask them where they're from, they don't skip a beat. They say that they're Jamaican. And that was really important to me because I feel like being Jamaican has prepared me for anything that the world wants to throw at me. But my goal is always to go back home. Like, always. I haven't figured out the how because, Lord God, the food prices.
As in to settle there.
100%. I don't want to raise my children anywhere else for the bulk of their formative years. I also feel like I am the best version of myself in Jamaica. But it sounds like you are cool, like, settled here.
Yeah, Africa is home, man.
Really?
Africa is home. Africa. Listen, never say never, though.
Sure.
You know, when it comes to, you know, if I would go back to Jamaica, never say never. But for now, I feel at home here.
You're happy.
You know what I mean? I've never had to look over my back. You know what I mean? Though they say South Africa is dangerous, right?
Yeah.
I've never had to look over my back, or I've never felt threatened in terms of getting looks.
Sure.
I've gotten looks. You know what I mean? And sometimes I had to even intervene in some people being spoken to a certain way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You can't talk to him like that. You know what I mean? Not on my watch.
Right.
You know, because that mentality from back in the day, apartheid, is still here.
Right.
In a lot of the people. Right?
Is that in a way of how people communicate in work settings, or is that
No,
beyond
just regular.
that?
We're talking about going in the supermarket.
Okay.
Just going in the supermarket and how the staff in the supermarket is being spoken to by customers. You know what I mean? Like the cashier or the guy at the packing the shelf or whatever. You know, the way they're spoken to. I'm like, yo, you can't do that. He's a human being. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to be fair, it comes from the older folks.
Right.
Yeah.
So them soon get extinct and it'll be fine.
Yeah, no, them still pass on the you know
seeds.
What I mean? The seeds, yeah.
It's funny you talk about safety because first time I came, I didn't drive. I flew to somewhere to go to a safari and drove, but in terms of in the city.
That was in Joburg side?
No, I flew to Port Elizabeth.
Oh, Port Elizabeth.
And then had to drive from that airport to the bush. But this time I've been driving, and when I was taking a taxi to go to get the rental car, I was using my phone at the traffic light to just check whatever I was doing. And he was like, I don't want to like make you scared, but don't use your phone at the traffic light. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. I said, but we're in the car. What am I going to do? Like, go through the window?
Yeah,
and he's like,
probably break the window.
And he said, they'll break. I said,
they'll break. Smash and grab. Yeah, smash and grab.
That's what he was saying. I was like, what? I said, I'm from Kingston. Nobody has ever told me not to use my phone in the car. And again, whenever I come to new countries and people tell me about crime and violence, I'm not immediately put off because I know what it means to be from a country where people tell you that all the time.
You have to be street smart.
And
once you're street smart, you know.
100%. So like people saying that South Africa was dangerous was never really a deterrent because I'm like, they'd probably tell you Jamaica was dangerous and we all know how that goes.
Exactly, yeah.
However, having it come from a South African to like not have my phone out, and so I was like, oh, maybe I should take them seriously. You asked if I'd been to Joburg.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in going to Joburg. Everybody tells me not to go, especially with my children. As in, local South Africans tell me not to go. I wouldn't listen if it were foreigners.
Yeah.
For the same reason I've explained. But when local people are telling me don't go, I'm like, you know what? The children are small. I'm by myself. Let me just listen to the people that probably know their country.
It depends on, like everywhere, it depends on where you go.
So you think they're overreacting?
And who you hang out with. You know what I mean? The thing is, in Joburg is a lot of kidnappings.
Okay.
Right? But more so for ransom.
Right.
You know, so they're targeted families. You know what I mean? Where this family have money, we're going to kidnap somebody from that family.
Sure.
And ask for money.
Less
you know what I mean?
random occurrences.
Yeah, I mean, you have the... like this friend of mine, she went to Joburg and the first night, her phone was picked.
Okay.
But
that could happen anywhere.
Exactly. You know what
I mean, this guy from Cape Town who... He lives in Cape Town now, but he's born and raised in Joburg.
Yeah.
Is telling me that they're putting acid through the window if there's a crack in the window. I said, when him tell me that, I said,
I've never heard that.
I said, I'm not going.
I've never heard
But
of
the
that.
reason I bring it up is because since I've been here, so driving by myself, I feel less scared than when the taxi driver was telling me to put my phone away, right? So not that I know like the areas, but you can get a sense
of
okay, this is a
just
place
visual,
where
just look around and
you know what I mean.
You know where you are.
This is a place where cool. I'm not gonna take out my phone, but I don't feel. I was even because my dad was like, "Why are you there?" He was literally like, "Scrap the podcast, scrap the supper club,
and
get
leave."
out." He's like, "Why?" He goes, "Why are you there?" I'm like, "Dad, let me just see the place first," because I had just come from Stellenbosch to Cape Town City, and so I was like,
the bush.
Right. So I was like, let me see the place first, right? Let me get a feel. He literally was like, do we need a bodyguard? He was going.
It's not that.
He was going like he went there.
It's not that serious.
Because of this guy, right? Like really scaring us. And so after I was driving by myself, we gone to restaurants, see places. I said, Dad, I don't think we need to be worried at all.
I've been to Joburg many times and I've never been worried or scared or you hear stories, this happened, that happened, you see it on videos and all of that. But when I am in Joburg, like I just came from Joburg, as you know, the other day, and I was okay.
Yeah.
I was never worried. I took out my phone, used it, whatever.
Do you think the international media make certain destinations to seem worse than they are?
I think so. Because even some of my friends, when they come here to visit, I said, brother, Africa this, John, no, them not tell me this. You understand? And I'm saying, because when we grew up, as you know, on the news, we see Africa as poor, destitute, the same one fly while there's upon a little youth face.
It's always a fly.
Exactly. And, you know what I mean, let's help these poor Africans and blah, blah, this and that. And the thing is, the same people who push that narrative of Africa being poor and this and that are the same people who don't want to leave Africa.
They're living large.
That should tell you something.
Yeah.
They're telling you not to come to Africa, but they don't want to leave.
Yeah. What do you think were some of the misconceptions of your life in South Africa?
Misconceptions?
Yes.
Let me think now. That, I mean, the different, all right, one thing I've noticed is that in terms of divide, the different tribes.
Okay.
The different tribes, I thought they were Africans. And it's not only here in South Africa.
Across the
It's
continent.
across the continent, like with different Africans that you meet, right? The divide in the tribe, I'm this, I'm that, you know, I'm better than this, I'm better than you. And I'm saying, but that divide is is helping a certain narrative.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that needs to change. I get it. You're proud of your tribe. You're proud of where you come from. You know what I mean? And like I was in Switzerland, and I met this guy at this pool party, and there was this bouncer from, I think it was from Congo, right? So I was talking to him because, you know, I live in Africa and this and that. I said, where are you from? And he said, oh, I'm French. I'm French. And I'm saying, brother, which tribe you come from in Africa? Yeah, because the thing is, I said to him, listen, I'm from Jamaica. We were colonized by the British.
Yep.
Am I British? No. So tell me where you're from and all of that. And then he realized, I'm saying, come on, bro. But the thing is, that's another thing here in Africa where the mindset is that anything close enough to being European, they try to push that.
Right.
Because I guess it makes them feel better
Right.
about themselves or superior in a sense. But I'm saying, come on, man. Be proud of where you come from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not even African as in from the continent.
Sure.
But I'm proud to be here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you think that Cape Town specifically has changed over the time? Because you've been here quite
Yeah.
a while. And I'm interested to know, what have you observed?
It's getting more gentrified.
Right?
Yeah, certain areas, especially the prime areas, like, this area, Sea Point, Green Point, all of them
Okay.
sides, Bantry Bay, Camps Bay, the whole works. Yeah, it's a lot of Europeans and Americans are investing in properties and Airbnb, and what that does is push the locals out of the city because they
Right.
can't afford it. They can't afford to buy the properties because with the influx of foreign investors
Yes.
who spend pounds or euros or dollars, the price goes up, and in and around the coffee shops, the supermarkets, everything, the price start going up to match the people who are coming there.
Right.
So basically pushing the locals outside of the city.
Is there any
which is messed
resentment
up. Yeah.
from the local community?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. And it's brewing underneath.
Okay.
It's brewing. Some people will be vocal, but you hear,
Whispers.
yeah, people talking about it.
So you come here, you're living your best life, and then you become a dad.
Oh yeah, I mean, as you say, you tell your kids that you're Jamaican.
Yes.
We always tell my daughter, you're Jamaican,
Okay.
because you're half German, half Jamaican.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But she knows it. She even knows the national anthem.
For Jamaica?
Yeah.
My girls sing it every day.
Zip 103 FM. I listen that every day on the internet.
Yes.
And she always hear it.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and 6 o'clock, which is
Jamaica time.
I think 1 o'clock here.
Okay.
Or something like that. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock here. So she always hear it. And I remember her mom was singing it one time. And she said to her mom, "Mommy, no, don't sing it. You're not Jamaica. You're not Jamaican."
How has fatherhood changed you?
It has taught me to be patient. Like, way more. I'm chill, or I would consider myself to be chilled. But yeah, I mean, having a child is a different level of chillness, if you want to call it that. Yeah, so patience, most importantly, and just unconditional love, man. Where you see her and you just say, man, yeah, my little one that.
What is the experience of raising a child here in terms of identity? Her mom's German,
Yeah.
you're Jamaican. She was born here,
Yeah.
so she's going to be born and presumably raised for right now in South Africa.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, what does that look like in terms of her identity? What is the perception of Jamaicans here? Like, is there a strong... Because I say this, if you and I had this conversation a year ago, I would presume that everywhere knows Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
But in Southeast Asia,
A lot
the
of
number...
Yeah,
I'm like,
I know.
sorry, Jamaica, babes. It's Jamaica. And I'm having to explain. I'm like, Bob Marley? Them say no. A man tell me, say... I said, reggae music? He's like, no, I don't understand. So I played. I was determined. I was like, stop, let her going to suffer, right? So I'm on love. The man tell me, say, don't know young people music. I said, what? Young people? I said, Three Little Birds. I played Three Little Birds. And said, no, I said, no. But here, they seem to have an awareness for reggae,
Yeah.
obviously. I met a lady yesterday. She was very excited. She goes, you're the first Jamaican that I've met in real life.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot. I get a lot.
She's like, I've met a lot of Jamaicans online. I've seen things on them, but I've never met one
Yeah.
in person.
I get
And
that.
she was so super excited.
As I said, they know a lot about the music, right? Bob Marley, the whole work, because during apartheid, reggae music was used to help. Funnily, reggae music was banned here
Was it?
during apartheid
Because they didn't want
because it was
reunification.
liberation music.
Right.
The message, you understand?